Hello beautiful people and welcome. So I just finished filming pile 2 and around a week ago, I filmed pile 3 and now I'm filming the introduction, and after this I will film pile 1. Why? I don't know. I just felt like it, so that's what we're doing. It's worked out okay. My goal was to actually have this video ready a week ago when the day I posted the poll. I figured this would be the winner. So I already started filming it pretty early on, but then my life was chaos for a week, so I had to take some time off and I couldn't finish filming in time, but I'm back now. Happy to be back. So yes, today we're looking into your next interaction with the person on your mind. I will already say that I won't be giving time frames, so I won't be giving you certain months or telling you this will happen in 2 months or something of that sort. I will keep that general, especially because this is a general reading, but also I don't think tarot runs on time. I don't think the universe kind of does time the way we humans perceive it, and I believe that things manifest when we are in an energy to receive them. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from with this reading. And besides that, this is a prediction-based reading, so please remember that nothing is set in stone and do have free will. And this is only a peek into the most likely potential outcome. Of course, if this situation resonates with you, this is a look into the most likely potential outcome based on the current energies of the situation. So we're essentially looking at what is most likely to manifest. But please trust your inner guidance and your own inner judgment over mine or anyone else's, especially in prediction-based readings, because nothing is set in stone. And I will never get tired of saying that, even though I've stopped saying it in every pile now. I know I used to. If you've been watching me for a while, you might also know, but yeah, please keep that in mind when watching these. If you feel called to, I will tell you everything as I see them. I'll be honest as usual with everything that I feel, but that of course doesn't mean that the messages are meant for you. And is there anything else I want to mention? Oh yes, and of course this reading and of course this reading is based on the assumption that there is a next interaction in this connection, which may not be the case for every single situation. So yeah, I also wanted to point that out. My focus will be just the interaction itself and not necessarily whether there is an interaction or not and things of that sort. So we'll just be looking into the feelings and thoughts that may arise within this situation, within this next interaction, as well as the energies you're embodying. At least that's what I've been doing so far, but I don't really have a full plan, so we'll see what happens with pile 1 as well. But yes, we're also getting advice and channeled messages. And I think that's all I have to say. I promised I would keep this brief, but it's 4 minutes, but I think that's still pretty okay. It's not too bad, so I will now leave you to focus on which pile calls to you the most, and I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile 1s, and welcome. So I've already filmed the other 2 piles. If you watched the introduction, you might already know I finally filmed that. That was the 3rd thing I filmed in this video. We're doing this backwards, but also in a very unnecessarily complicated way. I don't know why, but I just felt like it. But yeah, so today we're looking into, and also if you haven't watched the introduction, please do, because I kind of just talked about my perception, my view of prediction-based readings very, very, very briefly. I could get into it a lot more and kind of just go on and on, but I wanted to keep it as simple and as not boring as possible. So yeah, I would recommend you check it out, especially if you're like newer to tarot, but like if you already know, then you know, all good. But yes, today we're looking into your next interaction with the person on your mind. And I'm gonna get a tarot card to look at the overall energy, overall context of this situation, of this interaction. And then we'll clarify with oracles and more tarot and channeled messages, and we'll get advice. So let's see. Okay, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. This is a beautiful energy. It feels pure and it feels clear. It feels like there has been a lot of growth coming into this interaction, and it feels like maybe aspects of this situation that may have felt stuck for a long time are getting unstuck, or it almost feels like if you had situations where you didn't really see eye to eye, there is either some mutual understanding coming in terms of that, or someone's changed their mind completely and now they're a lot more open to the other's perspective, or they just agree with it. It feels like there really has been a lot of healing and a lot of growth in this situation individually. You may have been in separation, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case for everyone. Bottom deck energy is death. So we have Scorpio energy and we also have Pisces. This might be very emotional, seeing this person again, or you might recognize that there are a lot of emotions that run between the two of you. And there might be new realizations that you come to as you interact with this person this next time as well. I don't think every situation here is a separation, because it might be that like you stayed in contact, but maybe not as frequently or not as intimately. For some of you, this might just also relate to a friendship as well, but someone you really, really care about. It feels like there are a lot of feelings involved in this situation, regardless of the type of these feelings. They just feel very loving and caring and compassionate and really sweet and really like excited almost. It feels like a lot has changed maybe in this situation. There has been a lot of new growth, and there has been a lot of release as well. In terms of the energies of both of these people, it feels like you're maybe both more grounded now. And maybe in the past, someone felt like they were just floating through space, or like they were suspended in midair because they didn't feel settled in who they were, or something didn't sit right with them, or they still felt like they had a lot to figure out. It feels like you're coming into this interaction having figured things out. Whether this was both of you or just one of you in this energy, I feel like there is a lot more maturity coming into this interaction, this next interaction with this person. But I'm gonna get some more oracle cards to clarify. Pile ones, next interaction with the person on their mind. Pile ones, next interaction. Oh. We have Yacht Destiny. I don't remember if this came out in pile 3 as well. Because I don't remember anything about pile 3 anymore, because I filmed it like a week ago. But for some reason I felt like it may have, or maybe that was another reading. Okay, I'm not gonna complicate things because I don't know. But let's see, I'm gonna get one more card. Oh, we have 4th house, roots. We have Cancer energy coming through as well. So we have all the water signs because the bottom deck energy in the tarot deck was death as well. So you could be water signs, but you don't have to be, because this essentially tells me that there is a very deep spiritual connection here. And it also tells me that both of these people really, really, really care about each other. You might be mad at each other right now. You might be upset with each other right now. But I feel like that has not changed how much you care about each other one bit. There might be disappointment. There might have been a disappointing separation. There might be frustration. But there is so much caring energy here. And I feel like nothing has changed that. Nothing that may have happened has changed that. And I feel like when you see each other again, when you interact with each other again, there is this familiarity. There is this energy of coming home. There is this energy of reuniting. I keep on seeing like a heart here and a disco ball. Some of you might like meet this person at some kind of party. This doesn't have to be the case though, because what this is telling me, it's like you are in your own little world, and it feels like this might also be at home, like in someone's house, in someone's room, where you kind of just do those little movie-like things. You don't have to, but it's the energy of it, like dancing around together or like cooking together and singing. It's that kind of energy. It feels very familiar. It feels very comfortable, no matter what may have happened before this. It feels like, and of course, this doesn't need to be like the very next interaction. You might like text each other or something to agree to meet up. But it's just a very comfortable energy. And like you've both been tending to your own gardens, and now you're showing them. Now you're showing each other your gardens. You're like showing them off. And you're both proud of the trees that you've grown, the roots that you've like put in the ground. It's like when you see them again, it just clicks this time. That's what it feels like. This is a beautiful energy. This is so sweet. I kind of just want to sit like this for a bit, but I shouldn't. We should keep going. So I'm gonna get some more cards. You might also be like in your hometown or their hometown. It doesn't have to be though, because I think the home energy also comes from how familiar and comfortable you are with each other in this situation. We have external transformation. And we have anger. For some reason, I feel like we're getting the same cards as pile 3, but I don't know if that's because I feel like the energy's similar or if they're literally the same cards. So I'm gonna get one more card to clarify the anger bit. At the time of this interaction, someone might be having problems with their home life as well, or something to do with their, I'm also getting finances, but it doesn't really feel like anything to really worry about for the long term, but it might be that there is like that aspect as well, or someone might not be happy in their home situation or their surroundings at the time, or someone might decide to move somewhere, or or travel in some way, because we have freedom coming out, and it feels like this might come for some of you after someone has some kind of separation elsewhere. This doesn't have to be a romantic separation. It doesn't have to be anything like that, but it does feel like someone is maybe establishing more boundaries and kind of growing out of a past self, a past familiar situation, and letting go of this situation that may not serve them anymore. It feels like this maybe happens at the same time as this interaction. Bottom deck energy is intuition, which for me confirms big energy here and very, very strong bond. It feels like you get each other on a very, very deep level. And again, it feels like even if you haven't like talked to this person in 5 years, it feels like you still get each other. No matter how much both of you may have changed, you may look completely different, you may feel like completely different people, but I feel like you recognize each other on an energetic level. Like you recognize the core of it. So it doesn't matter what gets added onto it, or, you know, how many little changes there may be, or how many big changes there may be as well, because the core is still the same. And I think this is an energy of recognizing each other at the core and getting to know each other at the core. But I also want to get one more tarot card to look into this anger energy as well. We have the Two of Wands. For some of you, there might be anger on one or both ends of this connection, in terms of not towards each other, but towards the situation. Kind of like, why did this take so long? Why is this now? If it does take long to interact with this person again, it feels like there's a lot of background here. We have Temperance, yeah, Temperance in reverse. It's like maybe someone wanted things to move faster. Even if this was like, I don't know, even if this took 2 months, maybe they wanted it to be 1 month. Maybe they wanted it to be 2 days. Or maybe this took years. It'll be different for every situation, but it doesn't feel like anger directed at each other. It doesn't feel like someone's mad at the other. Okay, let's what? Let's get some tarot. I tried to say all the words at once just now, I think. But yes, let's get some tarot to clarify and see what else wants to come through. We have the Three of Swords and we have the Three of Cups in reverse. I feel like you're not going to want to discuss the healing journey that you've been on. Like, it feels like you don't necessarily discuss the pain or maybe like the full aftermath of the separation. And you kind of keep that to yourselves for now, because it feels like it's such a happy thing to see each other again. Something that both of you were really looking forward to, that's not what you want to spend your time talking about. But I think it's also clear to both of you that you went through similar experiences. If there was a separation here, or if there were like healing cycles involved, I feel like both of you are aware of the energy that takes and the strength that takes, and I think it's visible. We have the star as the bottom deck energy as well. I think it's visible in the way you both carry yourselves that things have changed, and internally you've both been through a lot. With the external transformation card coming out as well, I feel like there is a lot of awareness, or like almost inner knowing of what has already happened in the past, and it feels like now you may want to focus more on the future or the present that the both of you are in. It feels like, I mean, I'm really focused on the sun and the stars here, and that for me is just a very happy, very healed kind of energy. And that doesn't mean that like you're ignoring the past or you're not acknowledging it, but I feel like it's just like acknowledged either very briefly, or you don't just spend your whole time talking about heavier things. It feels like this is a little bit more lighthearted because there is so much bliss and joy coming in from seeing each other. We have the Hanged Man in reverse coming out again. I'm hearing new topics, new perspectives. We have the Two of Swords, yeah. It's like both of you have made peace with the journeys that you've been on, what you did to get to this point within your own selves. And I feel like there's a mutual understanding of how that change and that growth was necessary for this connection to come together. But it feels like that's already like understood and acknowledged between the two of you. And that's not necessarily the main subject of this interaction. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which is giving me like, with the Three of Cups, it's giving me an energy of so much relief, so much relaxation, so much overflow of emotion, like just emotions overflowing everywhere. A lot of like laughter. There's just so much happiness here, you guys. Like, the was a good by the way. We have the King of Wands in reverse. Can we clarify the Page of Wands, please? Pile 1's next interaction. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. One of you might be more expressive with your feelings and the other one might be more action-oriented with their feelings, but both of you already know how the other feels. It's like you either just feel it or you see it somehow in their energy, but it doesn't feel like it's necessarily because of something either of you does. It's just, you know, you just know. You're here now and you both know. That's what it feels like to me. We have the Magician. I think both people here feel a lot more resourceful now. And with the Devil coming out as a bottom deck energy, I think, yeah, that's the Three of Wands. I thought so. It's like we did all this work thinking we were separated. Maybe we would never come back together. We accepted that, but here we are. And I feel like this is because you did the work for your own self and not for the sake of like seeing each other again. It feels like there's so much compassion, so much love here. And I feel like that is exactly what manifests this interaction, this change in understanding, this growth, this expansion individually. And I don't know, I'm really drawn to how these two people are like chained, only I don't see this as a chain, but I see it more like neither of these people seem upset and like look at the Devil. This doesn't look like a you know, unhealthy kind of connection. It's just, I feel like I see this as an energetic bond as you walk through your individual paths and then finding your way back to each other because both of you choose to, both of you willingly have each other still in your energies. And I think both of you know already, even if like one of you is a little more wise when it comes to like spirituality, or one of you might be an older soul. I think both people here are really wise, but someone might be a little bit more in their ego, or someone might be a little bit more of a logical person. And normally I would take like the swords as the more logical suit, but it almost feels like this energy is like a conscious manifester of this situation, or like someone very intuitive, very kind of ever-knowing, all-seeing kind of energy. Even if you don't know everything about this situation, you probably don't, because it doesn't feel like it's a simple situation, and that's okay. Because I feel like if you are this person, and for most of you I feel like you are, since you're the one here with me, I feel like you know what you need to know. And like the things you need to know are revealed to you when you need to know them. But I don't think you're supposed to know everything about this situation in one go. And someone in this connection might paint, as a side note, but you don't have to. But with Knight of Swords and the King of Wands in reverse, I feel like the person represented by this energy, which for me like is your person regardless of gender, ignore like the king and queen and all that stuff, doesn't really matter. But the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands is like, I think this person is also really wise, but they are more unaware. Like there's wisdom that comes out in what they say, but they're not as aware. Like they may not know why they know this, or they may not know why they feel the way they do. They may not have a full understanding. It feels like this counterpart has a lot more clarity, and this counterpart just has like hope. And the reason I'm saying this also is because this is the sun for me, and these are stars. And this just feels like clarity, and this feels like, I don't know why, but I hope so. In terms of like this connection coming back together, or some kind of reunion, or like big union, whatever it may be for your situation. But I cut the deck and we have the World, so I do feel that you might be at a distance from this person for a while before you see each other again, or you might just be in very different places energetically. We have Judgment, we have the High Priestess, and we have the World. This new interaction marks the beginning of a new chapter for both of you on your spiritual journeys, as well as what you can do for the world, for the people around you, as well as what you can do for your own selves and each other. It's just big energy. Big energy, like, but it might take time. Like with Temperance, I feel like this is also a situation that requires a lot of inner work, a lot of going within, a lot of like confused energies, a lot of ups and downs, maybe days where you lose hope, maybe days where you just don't know. But this feels like an energy that is worth all of that, if this is something that you would like in your life. Of course. But let's look at your individual energies a little more specifically. So I'm just gonna use these cards to get one card for your energies. Someone in this connection might be like might have some of the clairs, like I can't remember them all ever for some reason. Like clairsentience, audience, cognizance, those things. And it feels like someone's learning a lot of spiritual lessons, like knowing that they are kind of related to their spirituality, their path, and they might be on a very spiritual path where they do like healing work or something of that sort. This doesn't have to be the case, but it feels like someone's more spiritually inclined and the other one's more like creative or like an explorer kind of energy, like exploring the 3D world, and someone's exploring the 5D. It feels like that. And another thing is, I think this comes after there is some sort of green light, but this doesn't have to be like a very obvious green light, but it feels like one counterpart gives the other the green light to come in, whether this is energetic, whether like someone has a dream about the other and decides to text or call. It feels like that. And I think this person represented by the King of Wands in this connection, this might be you, this might be the person on your mind, but I think they might be working on insecurities, especially when it comes to their own independence. So they might have like an avoidant attachment style for some of you, where they may have kind of just, you know, left the connection or walked away from this connection. And I feel like nothing that happened here was either of these people's fault. It feels like if there was a separation before this interaction, it feels like it's because of past wounds. It doesn't feel like these people like really hurt each other and that's why they needed to separate. It feels more like there were a lot of other things or like other wounds that made them need to separate so that they wouldn't hurt each other. I'm gonna get one card to represent your energy, but again, this doesn't have to be yours necessarily. It could also be your person's. Oh, okay, we have the Nightingale. We have the Buffalo as well, so I'll just keep those. Then we'll get another card for you as well. This for me is literally just an energy of I knew it, and like kind of someone like snickering, like I already knew this was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna see you, but I didn't tell you. It feels like that kind of energy. So this again for me ties back to whoever is the more intuitive person here. And with the Buffalo here, with this like kind of lightning strike, it's like the other person may be the one that initiates this interaction with the Nightingale. They might be like the one that expresses initial interest. So, but with the Buffalo, it's kind of like a whoa, what? Or like, I didn't expect this, but I think they did, but they may not kind of make that connection. Someone here I think is really funny for some of you. There seems to be a lot of humor or a lot of playful energy here as well, but let's see, let me just clarify. What card represents pile one's energy or the left person's energy, whoever it might be? Thank you. We have the bee. I'm hearing sweet like honey. It's just, both of these people, I think, are very, very hardworking. I think both of you are very hardworking, and it feels like it's just, I don't know, there is a very intuitive energy here. And in this interaction itself, there might be like a lot of playful moments, a lot of jokes. Someone here might be very sarcastic as well. Both of you could be very sarcastic. And you might like kind of make fun of each other or make fun of the situation even. It feels very lighthearted. Like with a bee, I'm thinking of stinging, but it's a bee, it's sweet, it's cute. It's not a wasp, you know? Like, I've been stung by a wasp. That was not fun. But it's a bee, and it's cute. So it just feels very playful, very sweet to me, and that is all I have to say on this. So I will get more oracle cards to get some more clarity on the overall energy, and then we're getting channeled messages and some other stuff. We have ghost, we have death in reverse. Someone definitely knows this situation isn't over going into this interaction. I think someone knew this was coming. Or maybe both of you did, but it feels like someone like really knew, like knew, you know? And with ghost, I'm actually getting this energy of it's like you never left. It's like you were always here. As a ghost, it's like nothing changed between you, even though like everything else seems to have changed. And we have comfort. Yes, it is like home. So much growth, and yeah, and bottom deck energy is mystery. So I do think this ties back to that energy of not knowing everything about this situation. Even if you're very intuitive and you feel like you have the full picture, it might be that you don't. And that's okay. That's nothing to be worried about, because I feel like all is well here. Like that's what's coming through for me, at least. What else did I say I was gonna do? Oh yes, channeled messages. That's what I said I was gonna do. I'll shuffle these with the intention of like any message that needs to come through will come through, rather than these necessarily relating to the next time you interact with them. So let's see what messages would come through for. We have, I'm focused on my success. I feel like both of you are right now. I'm sorry that you had to see that side of me, especially if this person came to you from like a triggered space, or they were in their ego. We have not the right time. Yeah. It doesn't feel like, if there is a separation or some kind of delay in this connection, it doesn't feel like that's because there's a lot of hurt that you inflicted on each other, so you can't go on, but it feels more like the timing wasn't right, or there were like other wounds that held you back, or other factors that held you back. We have, I feel lonely without you. I don't know what I want. The way this just came out reversed, it created another like sentence in my head, and it is, I know what I want, but I can't have it. But of course, take them as they resonate. We have, I don't feel the same, I can't do this anymore, and you didn't deserve that. Can we clarify, I don't feel the same? Thank you. I feel really overwhelmed, you haunt me, and I'm so grateful to have met you. This for me is not necessarily an energy of like, I don't share your feelings, but it's like, For some of you, you might have told this person you want to be with them and they may have kind of run off because they may have wanted the same, but they couldn't maybe want the same. But I feel like in terms of their own feelings for you, I think there are a lot. I just think they may not, I think they might feel a lot of things at once to the point where they can't really understand. I feel like we don't see eye to eye. You might not see eye to eye when it comes to this situation. My energy is focused on something else. I think their energy before this interaction, yeah, bottom deck energy is you need to focus on yourself. I was gonna say, I think their energy is focused on their own self and their own path. So very convenient that this came out as well. But I kind of want to clarify, I don't feel the same a little bit more. I don't know why that's sticking out to me now. But I want to I'm just gonna get a tarot card. Or maybe a bunch. I can't promise it's going to be one. We have the Queen of Cups. Can we clarify? We have the Moon in reverse. And we have Justice. I feel like this person, bottom deck energy is Temperance. I think they need time to come to terms with their feelings. They might be someone that's afraid of love. They might be afraid of intimacy or vulnerability. Not in this interaction, but I think in maybe the past, maybe also in this interaction, like slightly, but it feels like they need to take their time figuring things out and sorting out their thoughts and kind of understanding their inner world more. So for some of you, they may have said, I don't feel the same, or I can't do this, or something of that sort. But I think they were just afraid of, or they are afraid of either love or intimacy or commitment, something of that sort. Because with the Moon in reverse and Justice, it's almost like they don't even mean that they don't feel the same. That's why I was so stuck on it, because like that just sounded off to me for some reason. Not because they're not allowed to like not feel the same, but because it just was so different to everything else I was feeling through their energy. For some of you, this might be a friend where like someone had feelings for the other, but like it wasn't returned as well. And that might also be what it refers to for some of you. But of course, only take the messages that do resonate with you and leave the rest. I just want to clarify because I felt like it might cause some confusion because it did in me. In terms of the rest of the energy of the reading, but let's also get some of these messages to clarify. Okay, do we need more? Okay, this was some weird shuffling, but okay. I'm waiting for the right moment. There we go. You will always be safe in my heart. Where do I put this? Okay. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I like to like put the messages, like group them together according to where I feel the energy. You inspire me to heal and grow. I try to do the right thing. We have music. Music could be significant to this connection, or you might receive messages about this connection through music, intuitively as well. You might be clairaudient. And we have, I can't think of air without thinking of you. Speaking of getting messages through music, this is a lyric from a song called Love is a Laser Quest by the Arctic Monkeys. I would recommend you check it out if you feel called to, but otherwise just ignore it. But yes, let's get you some advice. I think this person might be overwhelmed right now for some of you. Like, it feels a little bit triggered, but it doesn't feel like the same time point as everything else that I was reading. What advice wants to come through for my beautiful pile ones, please? What advice or additional messages or anything really? Okay, I'm gonna assume you want to come out. We have your dreams need a practical plan. I think both of you might have a lot of dreams for your own path and your own future, and you might be working on realizing these right now, like making them your reality, grounding them into your reality right now. We have step out of your comfort zone. Someone might be feeling a little bit stuck right now, and maybe that was that like home energy coming through. Someone might be currently unhappy in their situation as well, and maybe that is something that also goes into your next meeting. And we have new moon in Cancer. These also came out in pile 2, but the energies for me are like completely different. But if this didn't resonate with you, I guess you probably wouldn't be here at this point. But yeah, pile 2 also had these two. I feel like this connection may have been very triggering in terms of you both finding your own paths, or like continuing along your own individual paths in terms of giving you courage and inspiration and motivation. But at the same time, with this card, neither person here has stopped caring about the other. I just don't believe that. Like, I don't think that's ever stopped. Let's also get you some of the heart and soul cards. Okay. We have these 2 already. I'm hearing I need to do what's right for me. So we have, what you are today was greatly influenced by your past thoughts and attitudes, and your present thoughts and attitudes are the building blocks of your tomorrow. Therefore, be mindful and aware of your thoughts. Positive thoughts now will help create a brighter future, because every thought is a seed. If you plant weeds, you can't expect to harvest beautiful flowers. Gardens! I talked about gardens, and I feel like this relates back to that. Very nicely. Don't be swayed by someone's strong opinions, just do what feels right for you. If what you're hearing doesn't resonate with you, then it most probably isn't right for you. Listen to and respect other people's views, but stay true to your own inner vision and beliefs. Live freely and express the beauty of your ideas. A pool of suppressed emotions lies trapped within you, and it's time for you to release them. Allow your feelings and emotions to surface. You are safe. It's okay for you to open your heart and be vulnerable. This is a time for healing old wounds. This healing process is a blessing, not a curse. I know this came out for pile 2 as well. May have come out for pile 3 too, but like, I don't remember. Let's see if we can make any words. We have damn, if that counts. I don't know, I'm not getting too much here in terms of like making out words from these, but maybe these letters mean something to you, but they absolutely don't have to. But yes, these are the messages I have for you, my beautiful pile ones. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile, so if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I am sending you tons of love, tons of light. Take care, and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome. So I started filming this video about a week ago, but my life then suddenly became chaos, so I had to take some time off from doing tarot readings, and I couldn't finish this video at that point. But I am back, and yeah, so today we're looking into the next interaction you have with the person on your mind. This doesn't have to be you seeing them face to face. It can be anything. I'm gonna leave it open in terms of that, but we'll see what comes through. And I will be leaving a few little reminders in the introduction to kind of talk about how I personally perceive prediction readings, and all that stuff. If you're interested, I would definitely recommend you check it out. I'm not going to talk too much. I haven't filmed the introduction yet, but I will make it brief. I promise. But yes, let's get into a reading. I'm gonna get one tarot card so that we can look at the overall energy or the context of this interaction, and then we will clarify more. Okay, we have Judgment. I feel like that should be upright, and I will tell you why. And then we have the Knight of Swords. For some of you, this could be over text or online in some way. This doesn't necessarily feel like you are in front of this person. You certainly could be, but it feels like what's coming through very heavily isn't necessarily anything physical, but it's more so the words that are communicated in this interaction. I feel like there is a lot of truth that comes out, or a lot of truth that is acknowledged. You might already be aware of certain things, or you might be aware of how this person's been doing or how they've been feeling. You might have known these kind of more intuitively, but it feels like there is a clear conversation that comes as a result of this interaction. It might be that this is not planned and it just kind of happens, like they randomly reach out or you suddenly just reach out to them and this leads to some kind of confrontation. But it feels like there is a lot of honesty and acceptance and a lot of communication, like a lot of words, a lot of words. And on this person's end, it feels like you're like more this grounded powerhouse kind of energy, regardless of what might be going on the inside, because I feel like there might be a lot of emotions within, but it feels like on the outside you are very composed and kind of in your own energy and untouchable. And it feels like this person might kind of, at first they may not be entirely open, or they may not be entirely honest, or they may kind of just not give you the full story. But it feels like even if they're not being very straightforward, even if they use a lot of words to describe the things they want to, which might make it like a little more confusing or a little foggier than it should be, I feel like you understand the message. It feels like there's clear communication in terms of the message that needs to come across, but this doesn't necessarily mean that this person is very straightforward. I'm more so getting like a lot of jumbled words, so they might just like puke a lot of words out. or just say a lot of things that might not even relate to what you're talking about, but there is something that is caught off guard about their energy. It's like they are caught off guard by the context of this interaction, or like you contact them or you bump into them and they're just not expecting any kind of communication at all. But I'm going to clarify with some oracles. This might be in public for some of you, but it's also like this energy of, it's not that like a lot of people overhear or anything, but it feels like there's a lot of noise around you at the time of this interaction. This might even be TV noise, like, I don't know. We have a 6th house routine. I think you might be a little more reserved and a little bit more in your own energy. We have a lunar eclipse change. There might be some level of disappointment on one end, if I'm being very honest. This doesn't feel like a negative, it doesn't feel like this interaction has a negative outcome overall. I can already kind of feel the reassuring energy that is coming with it, but there might be within the moment some disappointments, because it feels like either things are not the same or some very integral aspects of the situation, of the people involved, have changed to the point where like it's not what you expected. There is something unexpected about this, but it might also not necessarily just be that like it's at an unexpected time or unexpected context, but it might also be that things haven't progress the way someone here was expecting them to, and there might be some disappointment that comes with that. It feels like the core of this situation might be changing, or someone or both of you might come to the realization that things are just not the same here anymore. And it might have been that in the past, someone here was comfortable in this routine. It might be the person on your mind that was more comfortable in the dynamic in this situation, that was kind of more comfortable in the energy of it, but it feels like there is something unfamiliar, there is something different about it. And it might be that you might be a little bit more guarded towards this person, and I feel like they do mirror that, but they may not see that in their own self. They may kind of project it onto you, or they may just feel like you're the one that's guarded and it's not them. Another thing I'm getting is that this person's reaction to interacting with you may not be what they expected it to be either, but they may not see that in the moment. I'm gonna get some more oracle cards though before we get into the tarot. We have a Temperance. And we have Law of Balance. Bottom deck energy is accuracy. I do feel that this energy, this is like the Ace of Swords for me. I feel like a lot comes out in this, through this communication. With the number 8, Makes me think of the Strength card in the tarot. So Leo energy could be significant. We also have some water energy here. We have Virgo with the 6th house, and we have Temperance. Even though this is not the tarot Temperance, I'll still take it as Sagittarius, and we have Pisces as well. These could be significant, but they don't have to be. I got the deck and we have confusion. So any confusion that you might still have around this connection, I feel like that is set straight in this interaction. But it feels like it might not come out necessarily, it might come out not necessarily because this person decides to tell you, or not because they're just very good at communicating what they're thinking and feeling, or whatever it may be. It feels more like you just either understand, or you pick up on things, or you're just very good at observing what's going on in this situation. It might be that your intuition or your inner voice really kicks in during this interaction as well, and kind of assists in understanding things. One other thing I feel is that there seems to be a lot of compassion and patience directed inwards in your energy. I don't know why I'm just seeing you as like here and then them here, but that's how it's coming through, so I guess that's what we'll do. I don't remember what I did for pile 3 anymore, but I did look at what decks I used, so we'll see how this goes. But with law of balance, it's almost like I'm hearing true colors. It feels like it's almost like there is a lot of confusion within this person, but it feels like that confusion isn't there for you. It's like what you need to know just comes out of this person's internal energy, and you see that clearly, but they can't. That's kind of what it feels like to me. It's a little complicated. It might be a lot to take in as well when you interact with them, but now I'm gonna get some tarot to kind of clarify a little bit more, look more into feelings, thoughts, whatever wants to come through. I'll just put these away. Pile 2's next interaction with the person on their mind, please, universe. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands and we have the 9 of Swords. Sorry about the noise outside, if you can hear it. There are just some people passing by. We have Sophia, which is the Strength card in this deck. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Pile 2's next interaction. We have the 7 of Cups in reverse. I'm really drawn to like how someone here seems to just be openly observing and the other person seems to be a lot more confused. And that kind of for me confirms that someone, and the energies could be reversed as well. It doesn't have to be, you know, how I said it, but I'm getting that someone might end up leaving this more confused than the other person, especially in terms of their own energy or their own perception of their own self. Can we clarify the Ace of Wands? Okay, I dropped a card. It is the King of Wands. We also have Death in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse. Both people in this situation seem to have their energy in a more guarded place, in a more self-focused space right now. Their approaches seem different, though. One energy feels a little bit more maybe ego-based, and the other feels a little bit more compassion-based. Or it might just be that there is both in both energies, but it's to like different degrees, different extents, or it just appears different to each other. It feels like this person might be wearing a little bit of a mask, or they might be wanting to portray themselves in a specific way. Especially maybe like everything is chill, or like it's all fine, it's all good. It feels like that kind of energy. They might kind of appear like that, but I feel like that's not necessarily the truth of what's happening with them, or where they're at in terms of their current situation. We have the World in reverse. Can we clarify the Seven of Cups in reverse? Oh, okay. We have the Moon, which did a few flips. And this for me, like the Seven of Cups in reverse is giving me this foggy energy, this energy of confusion. And the Moon is giving me an energy of highlighting the truth or illuminating the truth. And it also feels like the person on your mind may have a lot of mental blocks within. But then again, this might be easy for you to decipher. I feel like there is an energy of the situation changing, but maybe not both parties changing with it. And what I mean by that is it's almost like you've made progress to different degrees. Like with the World in reverse and the Two of Pentacles, it's like this balance hasn't been reached yet. It feels like it might feel like you're not really aligned in terms of your energy, or you're not seeing entirely eye to eye. It might be a little bit frustrating or a little bit disappointing in that sense. There might be some... It just feels like there might also be noise in terms of the energies as well. Or this might be a situation where there are external factors influencing the connection itself. So it might be that these factors also come out, or they have like some kind of effect on how this next interaction goes as well. It doesn't feel like a very long interaction to me. So let's see. We have Scorpio, we have Pisces, Cancer, Leo energies coming through. For some of you, you might see this person at work. We have the Queen of Pentacles, or you might see them somewhere where you feel more comfortable in compared to them. It might be more so your comfort zone than this person's like home or something. Or somewhere that you both used to be familiar with, but this person maybe moved away or disconnected from this place somehow. It feels like... I actually want to get some oracle cards to look into your separate energies. These could be reversed as well. They don't have to be how I put them. But I did this for pile 3 as well, and I liked it. So I'll get one card to represent your energy in this interaction. We have the dragon. I mean, look at this eye, look at this spiritual energy. This for me confirms that you see through this person and likely have a higher perspective of the situation. It's like you know more, but with all these scales, like this kind of hard skin on the outside of a dragon, I feel like your guard is cold, like your exterior is cold, but the words that you say might be like hot. They might burn this person in certain ways. Like you breathe fire, but still you don't let that get to you, or you appear very composed and stoic almost for some of you. But it feels more like this dragon energy is directed towards this person rather than like rather than this being an overall energy that you're just in. What about pile 2's person's energy, please, universe? What is this person's energy in this interaction? Someone in this interaction also might compare themselves to someone else. I'm not sure which side this is coming from. But it might be that there is some kind of comparison or some kind of like a race, not necessarily between the two of you, but maybe between this person. And if you've moved forward from this connection, it might be like a silent kind of race between this person and your new partner, or something like that. But it might also be between the two of you as well. But it doesn't feel like it's necessarily something that is talked about. Can I get one card to represent pile 2's person's energy in their next interaction, please? We have the Lamb. This brings me back to an energy of being masked. It might be that this person tries to appear to be like more innocent or like more unaware. And I do think to some extent they are unaware, but look at the like difference in these energies. We have this dragon and we have this like little lamb. And it feels like this person, I don't think it's that they're like fully aware of everything and have their shit together and they're not telling you. It feels more like they are aware of certain things or certain behaviors or certain things that they may have done within the connection that were just not good. But it might also be that they're not fully aware of themselves, bringing me back to that kind of foggy energy within. So they may not understand themselves fully. And for some of you, this person might all like really see themselves as a victim or someone that was wronged, whether this is actually the case or not. They might feel very vulnerable, and that's why they might try to keep up some kind of mask or some kind of protection around their own self and their own energy. But then again, I mean, look at this dragon. This dragon doesn't take shit. I'm gonna get, oh, yes. We still have this one to go through as well, and channeled messages, and then we have a bunch of advice to get through as well. one other thing I'm getting is this person might have a more closed-minded energy, or like their perspective might be a bit more narrow compared to yours in this interaction. Like they may just not understand some things, while you may have a very deep understanding of the same things, or like a lot of insight into the same things. We have love, we have pain, we have faith in reverse, determination, and space. The outcome on your end. So bottom deck energy is rejection. I already saw this while I was shuffling. It might be that you decide to stay away from each other, or separate, or take space from each other as a result of this. This doesn't have to be the case, but it does feel like you both kind of do your own thing. Because with determination and love, this for me is the determination when it comes to self-love, and determination when it comes to spreading love, filling yourself with love, and just like letting that be around you as well, and existing in love. And this, for some of you, like, or maybe most of you, this can also refer to love towards the memories, the situation, and compassion through this, towards this person as well. But looking at this person's energy, it might be a little bit more triggered, it might be a little more ego-based, and it might be more so an energy of thinking, oh, like, okay, I guess there's no hope. It might be that they lose a little bit of faith, or maybe they come to some realizations that this connection can't really be pursued anymore. It feels like it might be a little bit more discouraging for this person, but it feels like it's very empowering for you. And with space here, again, it feels like, for one, I feel like the progress that you've made on your healing journeys, on your growth, in terms of the things that have happened after your last interaction with this person, or like some kind of separation or conflict that may have happened, I feel like it's mismatched. I feel like one person here has made a lot more progress than the other. This doesn't mean that the other never will make this progress. It just means that they're taking a little bit more time to maybe understand what's going on, or to see the truth of things, or to process the situation. But that's what I'm getting in terms of the interaction itself. Now, I am going to get some channeled messages. These don't have to be like channeled messages from the interaction, but I will leave that part open. I am not sure of anything anymore. I'm focused on my success. I don't want to hold you back. I just dropped a card. I'm gonna go find it. I have feelings for you that I can't explain. I feel like as a result of this, there might be a lot of feelings that just pour out or resurface, things that may have gone unnoticed before. It might be triggering in certain ways, but I feel like the way these triggers are dealt with might be entirely different. We have music. You might get messages about this connection through music, or music could be significant to this connection. Oh. We have, I'm so grateful to have met you. I know I made a mistake, forgive me. I don't know if I can meet your expectations. I can feel you moving on. And the last card that flipped is I feel really vulnerable, which kind of is more the lamb energy for me, but it could also be the dragon. Like some energies could also be mirrored in this situation, especially with the moon and this specific Seven of Cups imagery. It makes me think of mirroring. And now I need to find my beautiful message bag. Here it is. What messages will come through from my beautiful Pisces? Okay, let's start with this one. You are so beautiful. I feel like you might be really focusing on your own health, self-love. It feels like you've come to a really like powerful, grounded place in your energy the next time that you interact with them. We also have you are so powerful, and that really scares me. I mean, if this doesn't speak about the dragon and the lamb, I think it does. We have you gave me too much of yourself, and it's still very painful. I'm gonna get some Moonology cards, and then we'll also get some more advice. Is there anything else that wants to come through? The pile two's next interaction with the person on their mind. Step out of your comfort zone. I feel like this might be like awkward at first, or like kind of strange or tense. And another thing is that I feel like the dragon has been, or whoever is kind of like acting more out of a place of compassion in this situation, or like whoever has the more higher perspective in this situation, I feel like they have been really aligning with their higher self and their spirituality as well. The lamb might be more in a 3D based energy, or a more ego based energy. We have you and your loved ones are safe. I feel like this came out for pile 2 in the last reading, and it made me think of having kids. Like, not myself, right now at least, but like some of you might have kids with this person. That's what it made me think of. And I feel like the next time you see them, you are a powerhouse. That's just like what it feels like also with this. And we have adjustments are required, but it reversed itself, which is telling me that for some of you, you might decide to let go of this situation, but others of you might choose to work through it. I cut the deck and we have it's time to release negativity, but regardless of like what is chosen here, I feel like there is this like release of negativity, and it is being replaced with love, regardless of what kind of love this is. It just feels like a very loving energy with this card, and with the release negativity, it feels like this is coming in because negative emotions or beliefs or thoughts or experiences. They're being processed and healed and released. Let's get you some cards from this deck as well. Oh, okay. We have one already. What messages want to come through? I'm really sorry if you can hear that. My neighbor is just moving all our furniture, I think. Okay, and we have this one. I'll put it like this so you can see the image while I read this one. A pool of suppressed emotions lies trapped within you, and it is time for you to release them. Allow your feelings and emotions to surface. You are safe. It's okay for you to open your heart and be vulnerable. This is a time for healing old wounds. This healing process is a blessing, not a curse. I feel like this really connects with the last part of what I said. And we also have, the heart is the true seat of power, so just love everyone involved and all will unfold gracefully in its own time. An angel watches over you. With patience, love, and perseverance, all will work out fine. Be guided by the wisdom in your heart. And this is that energy of compassion and kind of embodying love, giving love, spreading love. I think I talked about it earlier in the reading at some point. But yeah, that is what's coming through for you, my beautiful pile twos. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes, and welcome. So I'm starting with your pile today for no reason. I just kind of felt like it. So that's what we're doing. And if you haven't watched the introduction, please check it out because I give a few little reminders. I haven't filmed it yet, but I will give a few little reminders on prediction readings. I'm very specific about these. You might know if you've talked to me personally or if I read for you, done a personal reading for you, you might already know, but I wanted to point a few things out because this is a general reading and I don't want to confuse anyone or anything of that sort. So I wanted to kind of make my perspective and where I'm coming from with this reading clear, and you can find that in the introduction. I promise I will try to keep it very short. But with that said, let's get into your reading. So I want to start with getting an oracle, not an oracle card, getting one tarot card from the Spirit Speak Tarot to kind of look at the overall mood or the overall context of this interaction. What is the next interaction? Okay, that's too many. Can we get one card for the next interaction? Okay, that was the weirdest shuffling I've ever done in my life. But I don't know if it was on camera, but we have the Seven of Wands. It might be a little bit awkward. It might kind of take a little bit of time for the two of you to almost warm up to each other. So this kind of gives me the impression that either the last time you saw each other may have been really heavily emotional. Regardless of the kind of emotion, it feels like it may have been intense. And now it feels like you're approaching each other with a mind that's a little bit clearer. After maybe having done some introspection or having thought about this situation a little bit, after having coming to some conclusions, it feels like maybe a lot has changed since the last time you saw each other. but it feels like it doesn't feel like everything is entirely resolved here, and it doesn't have to relate to a huge conflict, but it does feel like it was either that the last time you saw each other, it may have been the beginning of some kind of separation or some kind of taking distance away from each other, taking some time away from each other. But let's see what else comes through. I'm really drawn to the kind of star and this lightning here, and this is giving me like Tower and the Star. And it feels like a lot has been happening within for both of you, but especially for this person. And it feels like the next time you see them, it's likely that they may be a little bit more reserved and holding it all in, but it feels like it's a process. Like your next interaction feels like a process of this person easing into everything they want to say to you. We have Jupiter return benefits coming out as well. I wasn't even going to use this deck. I don't know where this came from. I didn't even realize, but okay, I guess we'll go with this. Neptune sacrifice. This is the Seven of Cups. For some of you, and I know this is gonna sound strange maybe for some of you, but this interaction might happen in the 5D. It may happen in a dream. It may happen in kind of like, well, not the most usual ordinary way. It doesn't have to be this way for all of you, but it does feel like for some of you, this is more of like an ethereal kind of energy. I feel like there is relief here as well to be in each other's presence or to kind of visually see each other. So this for me is a situation where I would maybe take this more as the two of you seeing each other, not necessarily being next to each other physically, but at least like either FaceTiming or again, like the dream situation, or actually meeting up as well is a possibility. But it does feel like there is relief to see each other again, because I keep on hearing it's good to see you, it's good to see you in my mind's eye. I keep on saying this. I'm not hearing it in my mind's eye. I guess my mind's ears. But yeah, let's get some cards from the deck I actually wanted to use. I feel like the next time you see each other, there's quite a bit to share. Like, there's quite a bit to talk about. We have Law of Attraction. You might be manifesting this person for some of you. For some of you, like a very specific, I'm getting, this might be your first meeting for some of you. But I mean, obviously, if you've already met the person on your mind, then yeah, it wouldn't be your first, of course. We have anger. And bottom deck energy, strength. Someone in this connection might feel frustrated the next time you see each other. And this feels like frustration not aimed at the other person, but frustration aimed within. So someone might be currently feeling a little frustrated or a little confused, a little bit in like a limbo. And it feels like this frustration might also be voiced the next time you see them. It feels like it might not be very... Okay, I was shuffling and the Force card actually came out. Let's It's gonna look ugly if I do that. We'll just leave it like this, and I will keep this in mind. But essentially, I feel like there is this energetic pull between you and this person, and it feels like the next time you see them, you also recognize them on a level beyond the physical almost. It feels like you might like kind of tingle. I know that sounds a little weird maybe, but you might tingle like or be buzzing within, and they might feel the same. This feels intense. It doesn't feel like you see them and immediately like everything turns around and everything is resolved, but it feels more like a process. But it also feels very consuming, very ethereal, very intense. I got the deck and we have Law of Truth, and I do feel there is a lot of clarity that comes from this interaction, because I feel like currently there might be a lot of confusion, at least on one end of this connection, which might be leading to a lot of frustrations. Now let's clear these and get into actual tarot. I hadn't even decided like what deck to use for each pile, so I'm doing that as I go. All right. We have the Chariot. Cancer energy might be significant, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, we're actually taking all those. I don't do that often, you might know, but I feel like I have to today. We have the Seven of Wands again, but this time in reverse. We also have the Five of Pentacles. I'll be very honest, some of you might be expecting your next interaction to be like a permanent union kind of interaction, but it feels like it might leave you a lot to think about. And it might lead to the two of you kind of taking a little bit of time to go within and be on your own again. If you were in separation already, or it might be that you end up needing to kind of just walk away for a little bit to clear your head, because it feels like this interaction might make you realize that someone or either person in this connection might not be ready to kind of give to this connection fully. And it feels like there might be a decision made where there's either like a pause or a separation. This doesn't feel like the final picture. It doesn't feel like the beginning of a final chapter, so to say. But let's see. Can we clarify the Chariot? We also have Libra energy with Justice. For some of you, someone in this connection might end up setting boundaries as a result of this next interaction. We have the Ace of Cups. This doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of negativity though. This energy I talked about, it doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of like, oh, like I don't like you anymore, something of that sort. It feels like it comes from a place of compassion and understanding and feeling like it's the right thing to do to maybe give things a little bit more time. And I know that might be frustrating, especially if you've been waiting for some kind of interaction with this person. But again, this like a delay or some kind of realization that an adjustment is required doesn't mean that like this is done and nothing else will come out of it. It just means that there is a little bit of tweaking that needs to be done. Can we clarify the Seven of, thank you. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Hierophant. Taurus energy might be significant. We have the Three of Swords in reverse. Yeah, it feels like there might be a need to continue healing on your own, or if you haven't been in this energy, or there might be a need to start healing on your own, or to kind of be in your own energies for a little bit. But this also doesn't feel like the final phase, the final picture of this situation. It does feel like you both might feel responsible, and I do feel like I'm not getting a negative energy. It doesn't feel like someone ends up really sad and the other person just does whatever they want. It feels more like we see eye to eye, or like there is a mutual understanding. We have strength as well. Leo energy. And bottom deck energy is a Six of Wands. It feels like it may not be the easiest interaction. I'm getting a lot of ups and downs in the energy as well. I do think there might be love expressed, or like love that is just obviously there. It may not be like said necessarily, but it feels like there is a deep understanding where you both just kind of know. It feels like the two energies here are very responsible for each other as well, and very caring about each other. This person might be in a place where they're fighting insecurities. You might be mirroring this energy, or this might be your energy for some of you as well. But it feels like there's still some change that needs to come into the individuals. Why am I speaking so formally? It feels like there are still some adjustments to be made. And it feels like the next time you interact with them, this will be very clear to both of you. You may realize that you're in completely like different energies or on different parts of your journey. For some of you, you might decide to keep communicating or keep in contact, but still kind of be in your own space, or like see each other, like, I don't know, once a week or something of that sort, rather than kind of just like immediately dive into something. I feel like there will still be some things to be sorted out. Now I'm gonna get some more cards to represent the energies that you might be embodying in this situation. These can be reversed. I'll get one card for you and one card for the person on your mind from this deck. Or maybe not one, we'll see. But the energies that come out can also be reversed. It doesn't have to be the same for everyone. How will my pile threes feel in their next interaction with the person on their mind? Pile threes energy, their next interaction with the person on their mind. Fire ants. It almost feels like for some of you, you might be very intuitive, first of all. And with the fire ant, I'm getting a lot, actually. You might experience a lot of ups and downs. You might experience some disappointments, but also you might be proud of this person, but it might not be entirely what you expect, especially if you're intuitive and you have like, if you have a strong intuition around this situation. One thing I feel is everything might not have been revealed to you yet, and there might be some overwhelming realizations, not in a bad way. There might just be some realizations that throw you off because it might not be entirely what you expect, or this person might not be in a state that you expect them to be in the next time you interact. Something might be a little bit surprising, a little bit overwhelming to you, but it also feels like this doesn't really fully throw you off, because with ants, they have swarm intelligence, and there is a thing called graceful degradation, and it's making me like, it's not exactly what I'm trying to get at, but that's kind of where I'm getting the inspiration for this. Essentially, it feels like you'll still be very like composed, and you might be the one that is more composed. And even though fire ants are, I guess, typically seen as more aggressive, more like swarming, it feels more like, this for me is more like you surrounding this person in a safe space. I don't know why I'm picking up on this way, but it feels like while you might trigger them, it also feels like there is a comforting energy to it. And although some things that you realize or see might be confusing or overwhelming, overall, I see you still like keeping your composure and still being able to, you know, interact in a healthy way, and communicate in an effective way with them as well. And I feel like with this like fire ant energy, you might also receive some like intuitive downloads or have some things confirmed. It feels like a lot coming to you at once. With the fire ant, rather than that's just being the energy that you're in. I don't know, it feels more like the energy of the situation that you're in, the role that you're playing, rather than just what you're feeling. What about we have the vulture. This feels like their own energy towards their own self. One thing I'm getting is that this person might be very hard on their past self. I think self-compassion is something that they're working on, and they may kind of come off kind of harsh, but it feels like it's more towards their own self. And maybe that's why your energy kind of surrounds them, or maybe that's why some things are overwhelming to you, because maybe this person isn't entirely where you thought they might be on their healing journey. Now, this doesn't indicate anything bad, and this doesn't indicate that it will be like 50 years until you see them again or anything. It just kind of means that this person may have been a little bit more confused or feeling a little bit more insecure or lost than you may have thought. But this, for me, like there are no warning signs that go off in my head with this energy, or there is like no, it feels peaceful either way. The ending of this, although it might be a little bit disappointing or confusing or make you feel a little bit surprised, it feels like the overall energy is peaceful and calm. like you know you did the right thing. That feels like the energy. I also feel like now is a good moment to say I have absolutely no plan on how to do this reading. You are the first pile I am reading for, so I'm kind of just doing whatever feels right to me right now. I may not follow the same structure with every pile, so if you've also watched other piles, I'm sorry for the inconsistency, if there is any. Again, I haven't filmed yet, so okay. Let me see what else we should do. I kind of want to clarify your energies a tiny bit more, so I'll get more oracle cards. We have success. And now one card for the person on your mind, or if the energies are reversed, for you. Energy. Growth. Yeah, this kind of confirms everything I was just talking about. I feel like you will come out of this feeling like you did the right thing, and it feels like they might recognize that they still need growth. It feels like you both kind of come to these realizations together. Bottom deck energy is reflection, and I will actually take this as more of like an outcome card. You might make a decision to, again, kind of separate and look within, or kind of do your own thing for a while. But look at how, although there is this separation, there is also this connection between these two energies. And that, to me, indicates that this bond, as a result of this next interaction, isn't broken. It is still very much there, but it might kind of be pushed to the background a little bit more for a little bit longer, so that the two of you can focus on your own selves, on your own healing, working through whatever it is that you feel that you need to work through. I cut the deck and we have space, which kind of, again, confirms this for me. And surrounding space, we have energy and we have happiness. This feels like a very fulfilling interaction, even if it's not what you expect it to be, and even if it's not all rainbows and butterflies, it feels good. That's the energy I'm getting from it. Now, what else should we do? I'm not sure if I should get channeled messages, and I'm also not sure where I put them. Okay, I will actually get channeled messages, but I will get channeled messages for like no specific time, as in it won't necessarily be about this, but just to get kind of like an indication of where they might be at. And then we'll get advice or additional messages from the oracles. Look at your bottom deck energy. It is, this is for the best. And I'm going to take this because it's for you. I feel like it's for you, so we're taking it. I love you. Immediately flipped as well. Okay. So we have, I feel like you don't accept me as I am. I feel like they might not accept themselves as they are. And this kind of relates back to this vulture energy, maybe looking back on their past self and kind of being a little harsh or unaccepting towards it. We have I need space from this situation coming right on top this doing the right thing or taking space kind of energy. We have, I still have some lessons to learn and I need to figure out who I really am. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give these a time tag. Like, this might be them saying this right now. This might be referring to the outcome of the situation, because where you are in your situation will be different. For some of you, you might have already had this, like a recent interaction, maybe like 2-3 days ago or a week ago. You may have already had this interaction for some of you. If this sounds like something that's already happened, because you'll be on kind of different timelines on how this might resonate with your situation. I don't want to force like one scenario over the other. I don't think I can make you happy. I don't know how to move forward yet, is what I heard. My mind just added that little ending. And we have, I had a dream about you last night. This for me brings me back to the energy of feeling like maybe for some of you, this doesn't happen like face to face or in the 3D. But that doesn't feel like it's for everyone. So let's see what else comes through. Anything else? Okay. We'll also take the one that got stuck and almost came out. We have, can we try again? It feels like we only go backwards. This is a song, Feels Like We Only Go Backwards by Tame Impala. If you want to, is this ripped? It is ripped. These are getting kind of old. Maybe it's time we update the freezer bag. Not the bag itself, of course not, but the messages. I know this one says, you are my muse. You're my muse. Yes. Nobody can make me feel the way you do. And I will always love you. Technically also a song, but this one was actually inspired by the song. Let's get you some advice. I love that this is already at the bottom of the deck because I will be talking about this in the introduction. But yes, nothing is set in stone. What? Thank you. Okay. Okay, we'll take that one as well. I was only gonna take this one because it's the only one that really was sticking out to me, but we'll also take balance, spirituality, and practicality. Work through your fears. It feels like this process of, again, working through fears, healing thoughts that may still be blocking this connection. I feel like that's what's going to bring peace and harmony. And I feel like this next interaction will make both of you recognize that. And this person might have kind of like a harsher way of putting it because I feel like they may have a tendency to be kind of more harsh with themselves. And I do feel that they are working on their relationship with their own self. It just feels like it's just like adjustments are required, essentially. That's kind of the energy of this for me. Is there anything else that wants to come through? To once again repeat the signs, we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, so we have all the water signs. We have Taurus, we have Libra, very strong Venus energy, and we have Leo. Sun, Moon, Venus. I'm gonna shuffle 3 more times. Okay. Now let's get some advice from this deck. I don't even like store it nicely anymore because I kind of like the chaos of this deck, not gonna lie. What advice? Oh, okay. This one is already out. What advice wants to come through for my beautiful pile 3s? Okay. I know this is about like couples or something, I think. I have no idea what this one is. I don't remember at all. Anything else? Okay. There we go. Start with this one. It is not a matter of containing your emotions, rather the opposite is required. You must express your emotions in order to heal them. Say what you feel, be gentle, be truthful, and do not blame anyone in the process, especially yourself. All emotions can be transformed by love. A conscious desire to do so is all it takes. It's okay to feel the way you do. This really speaks to me about the energy the person on the right side might be in. Might also be mirrored, might be your energy, might be their energy, but I feel like this really like speaks to that aspect of the energy that was coming through. Every relationship goes through changes, but this does not mean that the love has gone. We have the Ace of Cups here as well. Let this be a time of reflection. Some adjustments may be needed. Perhaps a new purpose needs to be discovered. It may feel cold and lonely, but beneath the surface, the earth is warming to the promise of spring. Did I not say all of these things? Like, it gets warmer, adjustments, reflection. But anyway, where were we? In the meanwhile, express how you feel gently, lovingly, and honestly. Let yourselves be vulnerable and hold each other tight. Yes. Meditation allows you to enter the inner realm of soul. It is spiritual communion with your true self and all creation. You may think that there are far more important issues to attend to at this time, but meditation would help you greatly. It could have a positive influence on every area of your life, including your career and relationships. And this, for me, is that energy of taking time apart to meditate, to figure things out, bringing balance into the situation. In terms of like, this is making me think of honey in Spanish. So I don't know. That was the first thing I got. We also have like Emmy, like Emily maybe. Or like May, but with an alternative spelling. But of course, like, don't be like thrown off if none of these resonate with you, like these initials or the words I just said. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like doing this at the end. But yeah, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile threes. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile, so if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you tons of love, tons of light. Take care, and bye.